Okay, got it. So in our previous two classes, so we have covered what we could basically do with Power BI, how we can get the data, and then how we can quickly build the visuals. And then when we have to see the data, how we can see it in the data view. Here we will be trying to have understanding about the BI and then how it works with the data and how Power BI and the other tools from Microsoft comes in picture. MSBI here you see that terms refer to Microsoft Business Intelligence. That is a set of tools combined together, whether it is related to pulling the data, like let's say pulling the data from Excel, pulling the data from CSV, anywhere, then staging the data and then doing reporting on top of it. But purely business intelligence is to analyze the data and then present it on the front end. Okay, so what is BI? BI basically stands for the business intelligence, and then we have to basically understand what's the need of it. So if I pick an example of a lemonade store or a stand, then like if you're making like uh, sales each day, and then you have been running the business for like 1 to 2 months. After that, you would have like a set of business questions that you want to answer, because you're putting effort to work for like 5 to 6 hours and then buy what all needed for running that lemonade store. And then after that, you're trying to manage your store. So there would be different questions you want to answer, whether you're able to make profit or if you're not able to make that profit. And then next thing, what you will say is, oh, okay, so I'm able to make the profit. So how I can make this business better? So should I pick a different business hours, different timing? So that's how you try to come up with different options and then try to have like a better business strategy. And then also you will also try to understand customers pattern, and then based on that you will try to have different offers for the customer. Using all this analysis, one good thing that will work in your favor is that you will try to reduce business risks. Because what you're trying to do here is you're trying to understand pattern of your business. You're trying to come up with the business strategies. You are looking to attract customer. So directly, indirectly, you are trying to target to generate more revenue, and then you're trying to focus on areas where it could be risky for you. So overall, you are trying to have gains out of your business, and then you are trying to take timely decisions and then strategies. So finally, you will be able to grow your business and then have like a better outcome, whether it is like a small scale industry or a large scale industry. Overall target for any business will be to understand their business patterns, understand their customers, based on that, come up with strategies so that you could efficiently perform in your business and then try to get a revenue out of it. Okay. And this is one of the examples here, which I'm trying to illustrate how we get the raw data from any of the customers or any of the vendors or any of the front-end application where we do day-to-day operations. So here you could see this is a basic Excel file where currently by seeing just this Excel file, we are not able to understand any patterns. So that is where a business intelligence tools will come in picture. And then similar information, we will be able to present it in a very readable way. And then in this matrix visual, you could see we have categories, we have subcategories, and then we have those breakdowns. Um, and then we have those separate subtotals as well to see how that particular data is being translated. And then you also will have the capability to derive trends out of it. So this is very helpful. So you could see the chart onto the left. It's a very raw information, but the way we are presenting it using a BI tool, it's trying to present the data which will give the clear insight. So from the chart we have at the bottom, then you could see in June we have a peak. Then the way you will design Power BI report is you will the front end business users will be able to see all the sales for that specific month, and then in March, if it is like a low number of sales, then you also will be able to profile. So it's like a descriptive analytics, and then you are providing the diagnostic analytics. Okay, so next year we have Power BI users. It's basically used for development. It's used for doing the analysis. The power users or any of your analysts in a company are doing it. And then third one is for consuming the report. So you just created the report with the dashboards and all, and then you're providing it to the front end users. So they'll be just using the dashboard, applying slicers. So they want to see the data for 2021, 2020, or 2019. So they'll be able to do that. Okay, so the first title here we see is the Power BI developer slash MSBI. As I said, MSBI is like a combination of the tools that will be used for, again, working on the data, but Power BI is the key thing here. And the other thing is like we will have subject matter experts. Those will be the power users. So they would know the business in and out, and then we have like a different IT professionals. So apart from just building the report, they'll be only using only for tracking purposes. So in and out business operations. So it will be live data. Again, we will have business analysts, we'll have power users, and then we will have self-service BI users. So self-service BI users they will have all the model available. So they will be building their own report. So if I come back here to this slide, so if they instead of metrics visual, if they want to have another visual, then users can build the report in their own way. So Power BI service is basically hosted on Azure Cloud. So Azure Cloud is a Microsoft cloud product compared to AWS and all. It's a software as a service facility provided by Azure, and then compared to the other BI licensing, Power BI licensing is comparatively cheap. And then the other reasons why companies are adapting to Power BI is they have been already using a Microsoft application such as Outlook, database, SharePoint, or if it is Teams. So Power BI uh, inter directly what I would say integrates with all this applications. So that's a advantage for the companies. Okay. So modes of Power BI. So for the first mode is Power BI Desktop, which is the development work. So we downloaded the application from the Microsoft store or from the website. So that is what we use for the development. We will be pulling the data, adding the measures, and then creating the front end visual. So everything will be done in Power BI Desktop. Second one is the Power BI service. So once you complete the development, not all the users need to have the desktop application for seeing the report, for giving them access to the reports and all. Microsoft created this portal called app.powerbi.com. So once we go there, users will be able to find different reports. They'll be able to search it. The way you will be organizing is you will have different folders. So those folders are called as workspaces. All right, any questions? Any question, guys, before I move to the next slide? Okay, all right. So the day So let's pick an example of a company which is selling the products online. So let's say they have a website which lists all the products. So we can pick the business case of Amazon as well, as everyone is familiar with that. So they will have a front end application where I can go purchase what all product I want. I just do a checkout, use my card information, and I'll be all done. So they'll be able to provide me tracking, and then the product gets delivered at my doorstep. So same way, any user interacting on their website has to do the same thing. So this is one interface. So second interface is when the vendor is trying to enter the information. They basically list all their products. Through that, they'll be able to enter the price and then the quantity and all, and all add all the description. That's how they'll be able to showcase their product for the front end users. So the same way, for a company, for Amazon, they will be generating all this data. Every interaction you do on the Amazon website is a data for the company, and then they would be basically collecting this data into a location which is called as like a data warehouse. So for this, they're collecting the data from an application called Yardi. So let's say that's where Amazon.com is hosted. Second is like Excel file, and then third one is like any database, and then fourth is the files that they are getting it from the vendor. So they collect all the data in one place, and then on top of it, they try to build models that could be used by the front end users. So once they have these models available, then we would have a Power BI service. So Power BI service, as I said, it will be app.powerbi.com. That is where users will be interacting on the front end side. And as I mentioned, you will be publishing dashboard reports or Excel workbooks there. And then once you have that report available, it could be consumed on the front end side using a mobile app. So once we have all the reports available here, so let me try this annotation. So for a front end user, so they will not have any visibility to the backend process. They will be completely focusing on this area where they will be using Power BI service, which is app.powerbi.com, for seeing the reports, or a mobile application where they'll be able to easily access the report. But all the complexity on the backend side, either it will be taken care by a database developer or a ETL developer, database administrator, and then when it comes to doing the reporting and all, it will be taken care by a Power BI developer. Got it? So clear all my drawings. And okay. So apart from using a mobile application or the website, it also provides the capability of Power BI embedded. So you might have been interacting with a few of the websites where you will be able to see charts and all. So Power BI provides that capability that you could pick some of the visuals from your dashboard that you have built and then present it on to the front end user. So when you're using going through an article, so you'll be also able to see some charts and all. So that's an example of a Power BI embedded. So either it could be the intranet application, which is only for the internal employees, or it could be an external application or a website which is used. So this example is uh, similar to what we see in a banking application. So they will be showing charts of your spending style and all. So that's an example of embedded application which is showing reporting. And then it will be used as a Power BI data source where your analyst, he'll be able to see patterns in your data and then come up with some strategies and all. So you could see to the left of that line is the on-premises different data sources, and then to the right we have the cloud sources, and the middle where you see enterprise data gateway. So that is what it is used for doing the data refreshes. So on the Power BI service side, so using the gateway, you'll be able to get the latest data. Because if you think of the front end website, if I'm starting from to the complete left, then you could say here you will have for day-to-day activity, you'll be generating day-to-day data, and then same thing for the other application as well. Then this data will be moved into the data warehouse, and then Power BI either directly connects to the data warehouse, and then it wants to have the daily updated data here, or it could connect to this model here. So either of the case you want to have for this data available, that is when this gateways will come in picture, and then you will be seeing the data being consumed in different ways here, right? So moving on next here. So for this report development or self-service analysis, either we use Power BI Desktop or using the Excel report. And then this one you could see, this is an example here. Give me a second, guys. What's on premises means? Okay, so let me go back. Okay, so on premises is right now we are discussing that we have this cloud providers. Microsoft Azure is a cloud platform, and then we have Amazon Web Services is another cloud platform. They provide complete infrastructure for us, and then the way we access the resource is by using a browser and then going through a portal. But if you think of having a server, what you have to basically do is you have to first buy a machine, and then you have to install operating system, and then you have to install a database. So you have to first invest in purchasing a machine, so which will be like a high configuration RAM, high configuration CPU, graphic card and all, and then you have to install it, and then you have to connect that with a network. So what cloud services, what they are trying to do is they are trying to provide the server on cloud with the capability of pay as you go. So if you're only using your server for one day, so you'll be only paying for one day, but you'll not be paying for the rest of the time. So but for some of the companies, they will have application on-prem, and then they also will have application on cloud as well. So to have like a bridge between the on-premises application and cloud application, we would have this enterprise data gateway to refresh the data. But on premises is like you have your companies having physical servers on premises. But cloud is all the services they are using pay as you go service or any of the payment modules, but all the services are being in cloud using any of the vendor company. Clear?
Basically, it's example. If I give an example, it's like if you're like using Facebook, you're using somebody else's server and storing your images or anything, where like somebody else has already built a server, right? And if you want to build your own server, that is called on premises. You need to have every equipment like your desktop, your laptop, or something like that. All of the equipments to store your images or anything like that. So on premises means somebody else is providing you server and capacity where you can store your data. Is that right?
Yep. Okay. Yep. And then now here, you see, let me quickly check. Okay, clear. That's good. Oh, okay. So here, the overall development, we pull the data from OData, Northwind data, or IPL data. So that's how we'll be doing. So let's say if you have Power BI desktop, we'll be connecting to different data sources. And then we pull the data. So everything here is on premises. All the development is on your machine. And then after that, what you will be doing is now you have to make this report available for all all the users or your team or your manager, then you will be publishing it to Power BI service. So now you're pushing from on-premises, your local report, to the cloud to make it available for all the users. And then for now, when you have to refresh the data, you need to have this gateway so that Power BI service will be picking this data on a daily basis. And then you would have all these front-end applications which will be able to use the report and then get insight out of it. Got it? Any question, guys?
Yes, I have a question. Is it for all the users when we transfer the data to the PBI services from PBS desktop,
Um,
or is
so,
it for the client,
so it
for the
depends.
client to access?
It depends for whom you're building the report. Uh, if you're working for for a client, and then if they have external users, then if you are getting requirements from external users, then you'll be building a report for external users and then publishing to a specific workspace. But let's say for the same company which you are working for, marketing team need to have one specific report created, then you will be creating a report for them and then publishing to their workspace. So workspace here is nothing but like a folder. And then finance wants to have so what all expenses they are having, what all revenue they are getting, so they want to have a report, then you create one. And then for your data loads and all, for day-to-day operation, if your IT team is looking for a report, then you'd be creating that report and then publishing. So there could be different use cases. Wherever there is a raw data, there is a possibility of creating a report. So this tool is not specific to meet only client related reporting requirement. That was only used for giving a general understanding. But you can just think that wherever there is a data, there is an opportunity to create like an insightful report for the users. Either it could be internal users, external users, any specific department, or IT leaders, or your team as well. So anyone can use it.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Yep. So uh, let's move on to Power BI Desktop. So within Power BI Desktop, we try to cover that the top navigation, what we have here is similar to any of the Office application. So one thing that I want to show here is we were saying we will have this publish capability that we will be able to share the report with other users. Then you could see here within the Home tab, I have this publish option. And if I hover over this, then you could see publish this report online in the Power BI service. So if I come back here, this is what you will be doing. So publishing to Power BI service is nothing but clicking this button and then selecting a folder. Folder is nothing but a workspace, and then publishing this report. But apart from that, you could see all these different categories here. So this is simple cut copy format painter. So which will be like if I have to copy this visual and then if I have to paste it, then I can directly use it rather than creating a visual from scratch. And then this portion here is for like connecting to different data sources. And then same options, they have made it accessible here as well. So you could see Excel is already part of this, and then Power BI dataset is also part of it. SQL Server is here, enter data also will be here. Otherwise, if I just want to create a simple table here, then I can click on enter data and then I can create my own structure here. And then I would say product here, and then I could give all the products. And then if I want to enter the price, then I can do here. So if I'm entering this price, or you could just copy the data and then paste it here. And then if I say product detail, and if I come here, this is loading now, and then I'll be able to see in the data view. So you could see here. Oh, So data view, yep, you could see this is the table it created, and then I'll be able to open a new tab, and I'll be able to add this product and prices, you could see. So this is a very simplest way. And then whatever data sources you connect, it will be able to show those data sources here so that you can reuse it. So you don't have to again go back to Northwind dataset. If I don't have to come here, click on OData feed, copy the URL and all. So I can just use this recent sources, click on this Northwind, and then I'll be able to connect to that. So I could show by clicking here, it should again take me to the interface where I'm able to see all the tables here. I can select any of the tables. So if I'm picking tables as region, then I'll be able to say load. To the right, you could see we don't have the region table. So it will be loading this table in this one. So yeah, this all options what we have available here, it's under the data category. Queries are related to data transformation, where you want to, let's say a simple example is, instead of showing first name and last name, you want to combine first name column, last name column, and then show as a complete name, then this option will provide you. The transform data is nothing but a query editor, which we'll be covering later. And then refresh is when you want to get the latest data. So you started working on this report last month, but after that you were working on another report, then there will be a lot of data changes on backend side, right? So when you start working on the report, you'll be first refreshing before making any further changes. And then after that, we have this new visual. New visual will be nothing but the same thing what you see within the visualization pane here. So you would have different visuals, and then you would have text box here. And then if you want to get any more visuals, then we have this app store here where you will be able to get more visuals. You could leverage that option as well. Next, we discuss about DAX and then the different resources where we can learn about DAX functions. But that is, DAX functions are similar to what we use in Excel or do any of the basic operations such as like sum. And then there's a standard pattern we have to follow, which would be a specific table name, specific column name. So we could use either as like a new measure, and then it directly pops up here. And then we have to give the syntax. So I would say sum of, and then table name. So dim teams is the table name, and then team. So either I could do sum, or if I can come here and then change the measure name to count. So count of this, and then I could say I'm doing count of teams. And this is how we would have the syntax. But let's say the measure is very simple for you, then you can leverage this quick measure capability as well. So this is like a pre-built option for you that you could see. This has all the different categories. So if you want to get the average, min, max, so then you could provide the fields and option here, and then it will be able to do it. So let's say if I have uh, dim teams, and then let's see this value here, category as teams, then you could see it did the same thing basically. So its count of team is equal to count of team. So this option could be used for creating quick measures. Then you could, here you see mathematical operations as well. So if I click on addition, then I can use this option for creating quick measures. But if you have to create anything from scratch, then we use this new measure option. Okay, so this is the home tab. Hope you guys are clear. And we, to the left, we have the report view option where we add the different visuals. And then we have the capability at the bottom to add a new report pages. And then I can click here, and then I can change the name as well. So I could say this is the landing page, and then I can move this to the left, And then when I click on this blank space here, you could see under the visualization tab, so you have visualization options at the top, but you have the other options here. I can click on format. This formatting option, when no visual is selected, this will help us to set background as well. So I can select here and then change the transparency. So you could see this is getting updated, and then I'll be able to also change the page size as well. So I'll be able to change it to letter size, this one, or any of the custom sizes. So when you click on a blank space, so you'll be able to see all this options here. So you'll be able to update this filter pane as well. So you could see you'll be able to change this background color for this, and then change the transparency. So you'll have this complete flexibility, and then also you could add like an image as well for your background. And then we covered, when we come to the data view, we will be able to filter and then see the data. So if you're picking for any specific team here, and then we will be able to pick that, and then we will be able to see the data, how it is structured before presenting it onto the front end side. And then at the top, as I mentioned, when you click on any specific column, so it will open the option for column formatting. So we will be able to either change the name. So if you want to have like a standards for followed, then you could say, and I want to start this with the capital letter. Then you say we have batsman here. There's a text no change there. And then if you want to make any other formatting changes, then you could do that. Then we have a modeling view. So you could see we have few relationships created here, which will be covering in detail about the dimension modeling. What is a fact table? What is a dimension table? And then what is the use of having this slicer? And what's the meaning of this one side and then many side? So which will be covering in detail. But this one right now, if I come into the data view and then collapse all these fields here, then the way we are seeing here is like these are the different categories or different tables, and each table has a fixed number of columns. What we are doing here is we are trying to connect all these different tables together, so that way there is a connection between, when I want to see all the number of matches by city, then there will be a connection between this table, which is currently highlighted, to any of the other table. So the so using this relationships, so we will be able to achieve that. We will be seeing those examples as well in later. But again, I can come here, and here you see, if I select city, then apart from fields, I'm able to see properties. So for the city, or if there is any specific field, then I'll be able to add description for that particular column, and then I'll be able to also add a display folder as well. So let's say we have this folder. So this is added to this measures table, synonyms, and I could say in the display folder, I could say this is base measures. And when I press enter, so you could see here it created all those folder structure. Then I could say number of teams and number of matches are all the base measures. Then you will be creating this grouping. So this will act like an hierarchy. So within this measures, you have base measures. So if you expand, you'll be able to see number of matches and number of teams here. Yep. So this is how you'll be able to leverage. So currently this first tab, it's only showing you all the tables. But if I click on second tab here, so this is like creating a layout. So in this one, rather than seeing all the tables here, so if you're only interested in IPL matches and then IPL matches ball by ball, then you would be only seeing very clean view of the data. Then you could say this layout is IPL only data. So this is very simple way of seeing the data. And then after that, like let's say if you want to see products related data, product details and product region, then this layout you could update, and then you could say products related data. Correct. So this is how you'll be able to see the data, and then we'll be able to better work on the data to present it. Any questions till here, guys?